tarot friends. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. I had some extra screen like flashing up and down while the countdown was running. So don't know what that was about. Just want to make sure everything's okay. I'm a bit frazzled because life hasn't been the easiest of days around here. Just kid stuff. And okay, Sandra says I'm fine. Look good to me. Thank you, thank you. And I see where Chris said that I was coming in here soon. So thank you for relaying that. Yeah. Some things just can't wait. And so then I have to take care of a family business before heading down here for my peaceful time. So thanks for hanging out. I was really close to this morning when I had set this up. I was close to deciding to do like the shadow walking thing, but I think I should take one more week. Now, who knows if I'll be here actually next Sunday or if it'll be the Sunday after, whatever. But I need at least one more. Whenever I come here next, we will start the shadow walking with someone I know, which is a series I talked a little bit about last Sunday. So I just need kind of one more week to straighten out my notes a little bit. They're just a mess. And I really want to do the stories justice. And the first one is pretty heavy, one of the heavier ones actually. So I just want to make sure that I'm like truly set for that. So anyway, today I thought we'll do some like look at layering cards and maybe do a couple readings, whatever we want to look into. But I also brought my favorite, which I like never show, right? Unless it's in a favorites video, but in use. I hardly ever show it on here, right? So anyway, let's go back to the beginning and say hi. Looks like Chris was first in, at least to the StreamYard side. And our Sandra is here. Hello. Our good friend Donna Riedler is here. Robin's joining us today. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. Chris is asking what decks have people got? Yes. So please do tell us. I did say in the description of the post in my Facebook group, I think I said, bring a deck. I don't think I put it in the video description, but maybe tell us what you brought. You don't have to have a deck. You can if you want. It's optional. But since I'm doing layering stuff, I just figured, tell people to bring stuff if they want to, kind of have their own little spread going on as well. I don't have an actual spread either. Well, we're just hanging out. Donna has Dreaming Way Tarot and Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for checking. Okay, so Chris has, I didn't actually read this out, soul cards and an RWS. So that is cool. I'll show you my whole situation I brought with me. I brought, instead of an oracle actually, which my initial idea was to bring a tarot oracle in Lenormand or like fortune tellery thing. And I did bring Mildred Payne's Secret Packet Oracle, in case you didn't know what this was. And 2 tarot decks instead of an oracle mixed in as well. But that's just because that's what was readily available. This I knew I wanted to bring earlier and it was already out on my table as well. But I grabbed a couple others and didn't have time to think about an oracle because stuff and things, just didn't have time. Okay. Everything's fine. I recently tried pairing them together since I didn't have anything else that paired with either of them, and I like it a lot. Okay, I think she must be talking about soul cards and RWS. Oh no, these two, the Dreaming Way and Botanical. Hedge Witch. Okay. That paired with either of them. That is a cool idea, right? You have a couple of outcast decks and you put them together and they're working well. That is great. Scott is here. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Whew. Zane is here. Hello, how are you doing? Okay, and then here's where I appear on the scene. Jackie's here. Hello, thank you for hanging out. Yeah, they're fine. It's just we had to like redo Max's like consequence situation because what we're doing right now doesn't really seem to be working. And we've been doing like our current system for like a year. So we're like, okay, maybe not quite, maybe like 10 months, but okay, we're going to step it up a little bit. I feel like the whole like involvement of like kindergarten, you know, going to a public school, riding on the bus, like all these things are kind of, and I've read this a lot, that transition from preschool to kindergarten, it's a lot. And that's just coming out in some behavior. And so everything just blew up. And then we decided, okay, let's, you know, fix this now and put our new system into place. So, I mean, everything is totally fine. It's just boring parent stuff. But again, just kind of a hectic day, not exactly like the relaxing Sunday we were hoping for, relatively speaking. Let's have a sip. So, you know. Oh, yes. The pattering of feet. That was definitely Vela going, you know, back and forth on our wood floors. You can just hear everything right down here. So yeah, they're totally fine. Just we're in a little bit of a readjustment right now. Oh, Sandra says she's just watching, and that's totally fine. I just wanted to, you know, make it a possibility, invite people if they wanted to bring decks. So Robin says, what's the layering about to know which decks to pair? So this is a good question. It's basically just a general anything you want. So we're just going to be talking about, in general, do you pair things together? Do you not? And of course, I mean, this is not necessarily a new topic at all, but I've been hearing it pop up again in chats lately and somewhere, especially the other day, maybe it was Chris's chat on Thursday. Anyway, I just really love how different decks talk to each other or kind of sync up. Similar to like when we're all drawing cards, again, using Chris's chat as an example, that we, you know, there will these patterns emerge. So, oh, 3 people drew the Fool for this, you know, for card 2 or whatever the case may be. Similar to that, where those, where there seem to be like repetitive, you know, themes and concepts going on. So it can really be whatever. I don't really know that mine even like kind of match or coordinate. Some people choose that way, like by the art style, or they sort of similar, or are they contrasting? Is it like a rainbow deck with a black and white, right? You can do all that. A lot of times I just kind of take what I'm drawn to in the moment. So anyway. Does it defeat the process if I use 2 RWS systems together? Nope, not at all. Something I do a lot is use like the same Lenormand deck, but like the mini version and the regular, and put them, you know, I lay out houses, and sometimes I do the standard houses like 1 through 36, and sometimes I shuffle and lay out chaotic houses and then put the cards down in the same way as well. So it could even be, you know, a regular and a tin version of tarot or something that you are stacking up. So that's something that I do as well. Just take it straight from the Lenormand system and use them as houses. And then your cards like become the placeholder, like the spread position. I did actually see Kelly Bear went live earlier, and or I'm sorry, I don't know if she went live. I think it was just a recorded video that she had put up about using an Oracle deck I didn't watch it, but I think what the idea was using Oracle cards to be like the spread position. So that's similar to kind of what we're doing here. So this also happens a lot. I will think about something and like, oh, that's what I'll do on live today. And 1 or 2 other people have something kind of similar in their situation on their channel like the same day. So I think I'll grab another tarot as I don't often use two tarots simultaneously. See? Yeah, it can be fun stuff. So in that case, we would just say, I mean, you can, there's no one right way to pair either. So you could say these two things, these two concepts are working together to answer the question, or more in the Lenormand tradition, like how does the sun card act in the house of the moon, right? You know, how does one affect the other, or are they both kind of working together and you're going to have both of these aspects carried in to help answer your question? You hadn't gone live on my screen. I'm over here waiting patiently. I'm so sorry. This is what happens sometimes I'm watching other people. I have to like go out and back in a lot or it won't pick up. It just says like waiting for Chris. I'm like, oh, I think he's there now though. Debbie's here. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. She says, in honor of my current new playthrough of Fallout, I'm using my Fallout deck and Zombie Tarot. Look at you go. Sip, sip. Hoping for an on-screen visit with Max soon. Yes, we will have to do that soon. Maybe when he's on summer break, I'll pop on just real quick with him and Vela, like maybe up in the kitchen or something. But yeah, there's yes, lots of new stuff. And he's done so well this year in school, even when there have been issues there that like weren't his doing. Like he's had to deal with a lot this year and done it so well. And then in the moment like that, then it seems like, okay, that situation has passed. But then I feel like there's fragments of it that kind of like resurface, or like these behavior issues that he has in response to some issue that he had with some kid 3 months ago, right? So it's like there's just a lot. There's a lot when you get put into this whole new world and you have like your whole own society basically that's outside of your family and your extended family and your family friends, right? Like you have this network and then your network like doubles, right? Like we have a big family, lots of cousins, lots of kids that he was already familiar with, but it is very different when you drop a kid into this, this whole new system, right? It's a lot. It's a lot. Is he currently scrubbing floors and washing dishes to teach him? Not right at this moment, but he will be scrubbing some walls over summer break. We've just kind of left it, but he's been experimenting with like writing his name all over, like behind his dresser in his room where he thinks I don't see, or, things like that. So Sandra says, I love how different decks just go together too. Yeah, it could be any pairing really. I really never put too much thought into it. Every once in a while, I'll think, okay, what are they going to look like together? But I mean, truthfully, I just go grab a couple. Sometimes I'm like, oh, those are way too opposite. But that's really the only like negative deciding factor I have. I will just grab whatever, and because I'm just curious to see how they work. And I always have to share this story when we're talking about layering because it was just amazing. So in the archetype series, which we will finish, by the way, I feel like I'm going to go every other one when we start the shadow walking because there's only a few left anyway, but I feel like it would be nice to kind of braid those together so that we don't just have a bunch of heavy stuff with the shadow walking. That we will do, I'll do shadow walk 1 week and then archetypes the next, just until we finish that up. So, the story is during archetypes at some point, it was the week that we did the gem, and there might have been a different, at some point we started doing 2, and then we were also using usually Zane's Tolkwich Oracle, and which is in the cover of this, right? The graphic on the cover of this video. And not Trinity, Transient Light was the tarot deck used in the picture. So in the archetypes video about the gem, whenever I was reading, whatever card came up, it might have been like 10 of Wands or something. Whatever card came up with in the transient light, we read through the description of it, and like the last sentence of that tarot card says, and once you take all the sticks out of that basket, there's a gem in the bottom. Isn't that crazy? Right? A gem. It didn't say a crystal. It didn't say a sparkly stone. It didn't say a treasure. It said a gem. And that was maybe like the most amazing day ever. I about passed out. Robin says, I don't really pair decks, but I sort of do because I'll do draws from 5 different decks for the same question, right? Yeah. Not side by side, but one after another for perspective. Same thing, maybe. I think it's similar. I do. I think, not that you have to, but I think if you take one more step and layer those, then it would sort of be just a more, I don't even want to say more dynamic reading, because you make it dynamic as well. So it's like whatever you interpret everything to be, like you're adding dynamics to it. But I sort of let the cards, give me more details, like layer out. It's like a little file folder, right? And okay, these 3 say what when they're all together. And it really is awesome, because if you have a card like the Wheel of Fortune, and you're like, okay, good, bad, and different, I'm just going to wait to see what happens. Then a card that comes with that might help describe, like, oh, this is kind of the vibe of it. It looks like, financial stability is coming, or it looks like some vocal drama is coming. So that's a great thing too. I think it kind of does some of the work for me, but then I also do more work because I'm layering on more interpretation, if that makes sense. Chris says, I don't know why I'm like a little glitchy with the clicks today. Remember what I did with your open face deck when I got it, Robin? This kind of reminds me of that. Do I remember? I don't know. Donna says, I added Joie de Vivre Tarot to my mix. It actually looks good with the Hedge Witch as well. See, this is the other thing. You never know which decks are going to be like best friends. It would be lovely to see Max and Vela, says Sandra. Yeah, I think that's a type of layering. Fatima, hello. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Scribbling behind his dresser. Washable paint is a parent's friend. Yes, it is, but we have not painted a single wall since we moved in here. I might sneeze. Hold on. We've done nothing to this house since we moved in. And we're kind of in this mode, like, we'll just let the kids ruin it, and then we'll fix everything. So yes, good point, Donna, but someone would have to paint the walls. I just can't. Robin says, my decks don't feel like they want to share the limelight. They each want their own time in the spotlight. See, and that is valid, and that's a good thing to know. Donna says, I might get the mini archetypes deck. I love the full-size book, but don't think I'd use the big cards. Right. I want the mini just so I can put it with my big one too, but I don't know. I have like the opposite problem as you do. Love the synchronicities, love pairing decks. Yes, those little divas. Maybe if I can get 2 decks to share space without mixing, like guests at a table having a conversation. Yeah, totally. I think, did Chris do that a couple weeks ago? I wasn't at that. I wasn't at that live, but it would have been Oracle of Echoes and Tarot of the Abyss. Is that what I remember seeing? Like, the spread kind of built around. Donna says you need a wedding reception placement chart. That is hard to do. I kept everything, but I kept the like notebook, like scribbled out version of that I had did. It didn't take me as long as I thought it would, but it is a little tricky. Robin is asking Chris, but when you did that, didn't you layer house placements with a top layer for reading? Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I don't know because I don't remember either. Okay, so what I brought, let me just show you. This is the box, Seventh Sphere. This is a Tina Gong Labyrinthos deck, and this is the, there's like a Marseille-ish Seventh Sphere and an RWS type, and this is the RWS one. By the way, I have both. There are a couple extra cards in here, and I'm going to leave them. Return being one of them. And then like the Four of Pence, you see here. Trying to find the best spot for you. Yeah. So they're not as fully illustrated. Like here's the Ten of Cups. You get the feeling from it, right? Like this connection, this reaching out, a circle showing like fulfillment and completion, but you don't get like the full body people. Yeah. Anyway, so that's one that I brought. And I don't know if it was last Sunday maybe that I had pulled this out. Ryan wanted a reading, which it's not to say he never asks for one, but usually he'll say, oh, maybe draw me some cards this week if, you feel up to it. And that will be maybe like once every 3 months or something. And the other day he was like, oh yeah, I could use some cards about that probably. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I was thinking like the next day we were getting ready. I think Max started going to bed. We were getting Vela ready for bed. And he was like, I actually want you to pull some like right now. Do you think, we have a couple minutes to do that? And I was like, oh yeah. A lot of times it's me doing it. And then like I send him a picture while he's at work or something. But he's like, no, will you go get some right now? And this is what I pulled out for him to use. Maybe because like he loves this color, like this light blue, sky blue. But I don't know. Again, it was sitting there in my pile of stuff from coming down here, which I come down here and then I just dump everything on the table or around it. And I haven't put anything back on the shelf. So when we did decks we never use, which this was one of them, now it's sitting at the edge of my room and getting use. See what happens? Chris, responding to Robin, says, yeah, I had the majors laid out in order in the 3 septenaries. That's like the lines, right? Like the like a Romney spread, but like with the majors, the 7 sets. On the bottom, then shuffle your deck and them on top. So yeah, like Fool through Chariot, and then the next row, and then the next row, and then put those on. That's a cool way to do it too. Yeah, you can do majors, minors, you can pull quartz out, whatever you like to do. Okay, so the first one I brought, Seventh Sphere. The second one is Lily Black. And I need to check something real quick. There's a letter in here, and I've been trying to remember what the very, hold on. There's something in my head, a phrase, and I want to remember what it is. And I know it's in this letter, and I just can't remember. Ever what you wish of me. That's what I was trying to remember. Okay. All right, that's all. Why can't I see this? Because it's a black box on a black table. It disappeared from my eyesight. So here we have black. So again, I didn't put much thought to this, but as I was grabbing them, I'm like, oh, those will look nice because they're kind of like the blues are similar, right? There's this sort of like shadowy, dusky blue going on. So, there's another one. and then Mildred Payne, which doesn't really match these. Oh, Sandra says, I don't really know how to say this. Like I want to say ephemera, but it's an E. It's like fancy, like French version or something. I don't know. So that's going to be True Black. I just can't think of the guy right now. I've seen that. I have not ordered it because I just don't know. It's kind of like Lily Black and White. I've just been holding back on like the extras. Like I'm not getting every little thing I think about. But I really don't. I haven't felt like, oh yeah, I need that. So I can understand what you're saying. I feel like True Black probably scratches that itch for me. Robin says, anybody using more than 2, I want to use 4. It's a regular Mad Tea Party. So I'm going to use 3. Tom's here. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. Okay. So I'm going to use these 3. And we will just see what happens. So do we want to make up some questions? Probably, right? Yeah, that's good. I took headache medicine right before I came down here, which I don't do very often, but I can't be on YouTube with a headache. Blah, blah, blah. My mom has texted me, blah. She's off to a concert, so I had to text her real quick. I will text you and say home when I get home tonight. Yes, okay, perfect. That's what we do. So these are, we're just going to do single cards. We're going to decide right now what we're doing. So did Jackie ask for the name of this? This is Lily Black. There's a Lily White. It's upside down. What on earth? Okay, look. 7 of Cups. Don't know how well this shows up with that. There we go. So anyway, this is Lily Black. The backs look like this. Celia Melville, yeah. Or Melville if we're not saying the S because that's also fancy French. I don't know. Oh, Pamela's got some movers there packing up some stuff that she's getting rid of. Yeah, of course. It kind of looks like chalk. You know what I mean? I really like it. Okay, so what should we read on? It's Sunday. We could be basic and just do, like a week ahead. You get your weekend outlook from Chris on Thursdays, and we could do a week ahead kind of thing. What do we think? Let's look at Mildred while you're letting me know if that's an okay idea or if we want something more specific. I gotta show off the Kelly pouch while I have it. And it has like a little red gem. How cute. I don't even know which version this is, if there's, up to 81. So this is like the full, I believe. My screen kind of just flashed again. FYI, I kept thinking about this herb card today. Oh yes, and a shield. That's not included in the smaller ones. Anyway, here's my little Mildred. Donna says week ahead is good. So let's do that. Let's do, since we have multiple decks, let's do, so like what Regina does in her Zodiac week ahead is like a beginning of the week card, a middle of the week, and then as kind of like the turning point, and then, end of the week. And hers probably honestly like includes the weekends and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of times she says, and then by Friday, whatever. So let's just look at like Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday is like card one. Wednesday is kind of like the peak of the week and what's going on then. And then Thursday, Friday being end of the week. Yeah. So we'll do 3 cards, and then you would layer on top or in the same space if you don't want them to actually layer. We'd end up with like, I'll have 9 cards, but you can do whatever you want. If they're talking and you want to pull more, it doesn't matter, and just see kind of what comes up. So for my base, I'm going to use Lily Black, and then I'm going to do 7th Sphere on top, and then Mildred Payne on top of that. Sometimes 2 little Mildred Payne cards like to come out. Ooh. Because they're just so bitty, and you can put a couple, you can put one on each corner, make it so cute. Oh, the diamond, that's not in. I was watching some walkthroughs, some old walkthroughs earlier, but they were way back when people didn't have all these extras. We're seeing all those right now. The dragon. Anyway, my little cutie cards. Okay, so I'm going to draw beginning of the week, midweek, and end of the week Lily Black as my base cards. And I think I will, I'll kind of look at them in the house way, and also just as like, if you know nothing about Lenormand, I'm also going to read it just as 1, 2, 3 cards. Like, what do they say all together? If that makes sense. I'm going to do it both ways. You're allowed to do it both ways. That's why I love Lenormand. Side note, because you can read all the different things and they add sentences on to your reading. It's not that the bear is always the same, because when it's in a line or it's in a row or it's by these other cards, it means different things. And you've heard me nerd out about this before, and here I am doing it again. But I just want to say that you're allowed to read them in more than one way. Your stacks or your rows or whatever you create, you can read them in more than one way. Yeah. Okay. So actually shuffling now for my 3 base cards. And Tony's here. So we are doing whatever we want. We're drawing 3 cards, but then you can layer however many you want on that. So I'm doing Lily Black as the base, and then I'm going to draw 3 more 7th Sphere and put those on top, and then Mildred Payne on the top of that. And you can read them however you like as additional aspects, or you can combine them and see what they mean that way, or you can say, how does strength act in the 4 of Swords card as a house, right? So you can do whatever you would like. We're just going to see how they talk to each other. So my first 3 for the week ahead, beginning of the week is looking like, why are these upside down? It's okay, I'll fix you. I'm drawing all 3 right now, by the way. 1, 2, 3 are coming out. So I have Queen Pence. It's like neon chalk. I love it so much. Look at her. So Queen Pence for my beginning of the week. And then I have, this is so cute too, with the fish. It reminds me a little bit of Marielle, Page of Cups, where like the boy has like the fish, like what looks like tattooed to me, like tattooed on his back. Love it a lot. Because it's like this really intimate moment with that he's got here, you know what I mean? His face is a little, I don't know, not like the RWS. And that's kind of the feeling I get from the Marielle one too. And it came up in a reading that Chris did for me in May of 2022. And it was about super important stuff. And that card always struck me because that was like exactly what was happening at the time. Or actually, it might have been, I don't know if it was a separate reading or if it was in the year ahead reading he did for me and it aligned with what was going on at the time. And it was like the page is like walking away and I was seeing that as Max, and then Vela is a Pisces. And so I was like crying because like the fish on the back, and I'm being kind of vague because I have to be. But anyway, there was this whole situation with the Page of Cups, and I get the same kind of feeling from this one. Like there's some sadness in it. So that's midweek. And then end of the week is Two of Cups. I'm having some fibro pains right now, maybe because I was, sorry. Maybe because I was talking about that. Isn't this beautiful? It's super, super gorgeous. Okay. Okay, so then my 3 7th sphere. And yes, please tell me what you're using. I'm going to go back and read these now. Oh, Holy Spectrum. That's another amazing deck. Oh, Donna, thank you. I'm okay. It usually, knock on something. It usually doesn't last very long. I'm pretty lucky. Okay, Holy Spectrum. And then the first layer, oh, look how correct, how accurate the words are. Base, and then layer 1 is, oh yes, Austin Osman Spare, which I saw Tom put up a video earlier about this. Also did not get to watch that, but I'm making mental notes of all these things. It's a new, like a recent Kickstarter that he had received. So everyone be sure to go to Early Ritual and check that out. Layer 2 is Divine Gypsy Mother, I think. Okay. Sounds great. This is fun. I drew 4 cards, and the 2 traditional ones are vying for attention, and the other 2 are conversing with one another. It reminds me of Gerald's having 3 guest readings, 1 card each. See, I'm glad this is fun. Robin is like so ahead of the ball here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to draw my next ones. Oh, Robin says, I'm sharing your pain. My shoulder has left me 1 arm since last week. Shoulder pain is so annoying. I feel like anytime anyone says anything about pain, I'm like, oh, that kind of pain is so bad. But it is. Chris, I'm not laughing, but your little emoji face. Okay, Chris says, I use soul cards for my first layer, so hard to communicate what the cards are. Sure. Starts off pretty intense, though. Oh, my goodness. And yeah, if any of you want to post in Blue Crescent Tarot Room in the group, it's a very small group on purpose. It's private. If you're not in it and you want to be in it, just friend me and send me friend me and send me. That is funny. It's a new hashtag. Anyway, add me on Facebook and then I will invite you in there. It's just it's a cozy little, Okay, here, I'm drawing my first layer now, okay? I have my base, as Tom would say, and now I'm drawing the first layer. So beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of the week. No, don't like that cut. I'm going to shuffle again. I didn't look at a card and say I don't like that cut, by the way. I thought I felt where I wanted to cut it, and then it didn't feel right. I'm not pulling a Jilly. I'll put that shit back and draw another card. Okay, here we go. Okay, this one needs more time than, and I want the last one out of order, than the black, like drew really fast. Okay, so we have one of my favorite cards ever, the flag of the country. What was Ramon's tag about #1 tarot card? Anyway, if I'm ruler of a country, my card is Ace Pence, specifically from Salerno, New Choice, Tarot de Marseille. Ace Pence card is the flag of my country. So here we have Ace Pence on top of Queen Pence for the beginning of my week. The second one is the Nine of Cups. Does it help if I just constantly move it all around? I feel like this one kind of washes out a bit. So I just wanted to show you this because it's different than the typical, right? But it is sort of, I do still get this contentment vibe, and it's like, this is like me choosing my tarot decks off the shelf. I'm like, I have everything I want in the world, and now I will just choose at my leisure. Nine of Cups on top of the Page of Cups. So my elements are aligning here. And then my end of the week is the Star card, which goes with or on top of my Two of Cups. Isn't this nice? Oh, look, see what happens? See what happens? Okay. Tell me it's not amazing. Tell me she's not pouring water down into this. Yes, please send me pics. Isn't this amazing? I'll wait. I told you how cool it was. I mean, also, like, if we want to draw some symbolism and likeness between like the flower and the lower half of her, you know how the star is. She's naked. Right? This is amazing. This is quite like the gem moment. It's quite similar. Okay. Yes, it's so cool. Yes, Sandra loves it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go back a little bit. Robin says, I have Rider and Manuscript of Initiation. Oh, I remember seeing that on your channel, and it reminded me of the alchemy cards that I have. I think it's just called the Alchemy deck, and it's like by Raymond Buckland. Anyway, the look of it looks the same as the deck that Robin's talking about. It's very cool. So go check that out at Robin's Toadstool Tarot. I have Rider and Manuscript of Initiation with Open Face and Little Norman. No surprise that Open and Norman converse, right? Is it so fun? Okay, so Donna's beginning is Enjoy plus Knight of Swords. The middle is Subdue and the Star. Oh, that's a good one, right? Enjoy and Knight of Swords. Okay. And the end is Nourish and Eight of Pence. Okay, so this could be just like the first crack at it. It seems like find enjoyment in the action that you're taking, like whatever it is. Swords might be this sort of like detailed, clarifying work, whatever that might be, but to find enjoyment in that. Again, this is just my first like basic, this is what I do. I just start out with the most basic ideas for it. And then the middle, Subdue and the Star, sounds like a lot of calm, quiet rejuvenation kind of thing. Like bringing this whole deck, Seventh Sphere, feels like that to me. Like it takes me down into this calm space, right? And then like stay like really chill in order to better reach your goal or your hope or whatever that light is for you. Like don't do so much action, right? The beginning of the week seems like it kind of like takes off out of the gate, so to speak. And then the middle of the week is like, okay, just kind of rest and let things flow to you, see what comes your way. And then the end of the week, Nourish and Eight Pence. So don't forget to take care of yourself while you're perfecting something, right? If you're going to like really dive in and do something that's really involved in whatever area, whatever craft that you're working on. Could be the same work as the beginning of the week, but it does feel kind of like shifted to me, like it's something else, to take care of yourself as you are doing that. Chris says, okay, I have the 3 of Wands, Knight Cups, and 6 Cups. So 3 of Wands, Knight of Cups, and 6 of Cups. And let me see if I have a picture. Okay, yes, I do. Sip, sip. Okay, and I can show this, right? I feel like that's the point. Oh, this is cool. Your first soul card is one that, so I had like 3 or 4 cards that were damaged, like I had a heavy crease in them when they got to me. And so I gave those to Max, and the creator sent me those 4 cards, like new replacements. And your first card is one that Max had, so it's in my head all the time because I saw those 4 cards more than I saw any of the other deck. Like I used it semi-regularly, but I saw them every day with his toys. That makes sense. So let me see. Tom says, Tom and Chris better be like support buddies at the beginning of the week. The first part of my week is gonna suck. Oh, I don't mean to laugh. I really don't. We're all here for you. Oh, Death and the 7 of Spades. Middle, Knight Cups, the Juggler Magician, and Gift. Okay. That's like positive magic. Isn't that funny? Juggler, Magician, and Gift. It's like you are gifted with the rabbit that comes out of the hat or something. And then the end is Ace of Pence and Page Clubs, Misfortune. Oh, Tom. I think I'm staying in bed all week. But wait, so Misfortune comes from the same deck that Gift comes from. It's that. Okay. Okay, yeah, of course he says. So 3 Wands, Knight Cups, and the 6 of Cups. So Chris's are cool because the second and third one. So we have this figure like protected by the rainbow, right? And then the next 2 have like this kind of orb situation going on. And I did always notice this too when we were doing archetypes, that there'd be, similar symbols coming up, even though they were very different cards. There'd be like shapes that were the same. So the 3 of Wands paired with that like sad crouched down person, like protected by the rainbow. Now, the other thing I want to point out is the person that's crouched down under the rainbow. Then there's also this face that looks like very Harry Potter-ish, where, what part would it be? There are a few times where like the face is kind of like leaving the body, or like, I'm trying to think if it's when like different points where like Voldemort has like come into form, but then his form is like breaking apart again. Like, there's this face here, like fleeing the scene, right? It feels like part is like taking off. But then maybe we want to say, I would probably say the 3 of Wands, supporting this card is the 3 of Wands. You could do it like that, or you could say, how does the 3 of Wands act? And that's language I borrowed from Kelly Fitzgerald. She would say, how does the clover act in the house of the rider in Lenormand? Okay. So we could say, how does Three of Wands act in this space, and I would say not as confident, not as aspirational, right? So maybe there's something at the beginning of Chris's week where it's like, oh, I thought, I was getting to this kind of like rainbow energy with something, right? Just again, bringing it back to basics. Like there was this positive thing I was thinking was going to happen. And now I'm not quite so sure about it. I'm not really going to take that next step, at least not Monday or Tuesday. I'm feeling kind of like it's not going to work out. Like there's something I need to protect myself from. I'm not even going to let myself think about these things and like plan for that because this other difficult energy is in my way. But then the next one looks very much to me like forward motion. You know what I mean? In both cards, right? They're both headed the same direction. This figure is looking like, athletic and ready and flexible and going forward to whatever it is. So it feels like the action and the push in the week comes to, and the confidence coming back comes at midweek, especially then with the Knight of Cups, because we have the horse energy with all of the knights and that idea about forward motion in terms of heart stuff. And that may be true too, because I kind of feel like this rainbow, that just makes me feel like 10 of Cups kind of energy. So maybe those, if we're giving elements to soul cards, then it feels a bit like that, right? And of course, it's like 5 of Cups feeling to me, and Chris hates that card. Hates. That was his Ramon response for the card you fear the most or is the most challenging or whatever that is. So again, let me back up and read it the other method. So if we're just adding on, if we want to say, how does the 3 of Wands support that rainbow card, then, I would say, suck it up, keep your eye on the ball, stay focused. You don't have to take literal action forward, but don't let this heavy emotion drag down your plans. That's fine. Let that cloud pass and keep your sights on what it is you're looking for. Last Monday, I felt awful, like just emotionally, just so flat, and nothing had happened. Like, I don't know. It was just a hard day. And then Tuesday was amazing. I'm like, everything's fine. What even is your problem? But we're complicated beings, y'all. Okay, so then to finish this up, and I'll get back to chat. The end of the week for Chris, we have all these people like kind of arms linked, little side hugs going on under this. I'm trying not to get too much reflection in the back, but what can I do? With a 6 package opening from something, I don't know even whose channel that is. 6 of Cups underneath this. So there's a lot of like togetherness, community, giving, right? There's this connection, a very emotional week, I feel like, for Chris. And he does a lot to help other people. Even, I don't know if you do this daily spread right now, but for a long while he was doing, like something like the theme of the day, and then how can I best help myself and how can I best help others? I don't know. Do all of you have a spot for others in your daily draws? Or is Chris winning in that department? Because I've done that sometimes after I heard him talk about that. And I've done that in larger spreads, right? And I've done that specifically with questions like, how can I, help this situation or whatever? But in your daily draw, are you asking what you can do for others? You don't have to really tell me, but anyway. So that's what it feels like to me, like community, connection, positive stuff going on. Yeah, anyway. Oh, Jane sent a photo. Look at you all. Okay. Jane has, let me see if she says in here where. So you can do whatever you want. I'm doing tarot, and then Mildred. Um, isn't it funny how I said I didn't bring an oracle deck, but I meant like a different oracle deck? Ear card. I'm just showing you that. But Mildred is an oracle. It's just its whole own thing to me, so I just don't label it. It's outside of labels. Okay, so beginning 8 of Earth 11. I'm creator, middle, Knight of Air 17. Growing, third is 5 of Earth and 5 releasing. Chris wins. Right? Okay. Maybe we should all do that daily. For the week ahead, maybe we should all use that as our spread. Week ahead. I mean, the literal week ahead. Speaking as a tarot person is hard sometimes. Monday, we should use Chris's spread of whatever that first spot is, and then how can I help myself and how can I help others? Maybe that would shift our, perception a bit for the week. So Jane has I am creator, and then growing, and then releasing. And then look how low tech I am showing you my phone on a screen. I don't care. Over 8 of Earth, Knight of Air, and 5 of Earth. All the red in that that bottom deck is interesting too. Okay, so what do we think about these? These are interesting because there's like clear people in all of them except for the roses and the growing spot. And in the 5 of Earth, it's still clear that it's a person, but there's a ton of animals behind it, red, looking like maybe some danger. But then this person is like over and their hair's all hanging down. Sort of looks like Chris's like rainbow person crouched down. You see that 5 of Earth person? Yeah. Interesting. Like the flowers really stand out in this one, right? Like color wise and everything else. So interesting to check these out. Let me go back and see. There's a lot going on. Thank you for participating. Hi, Jane. I don't know if I said hi to you out loud, but I did see you and obviously just showed your cards. And then we have Tom saying his week's going to suck. Robin has 4 pence, 5 of wands, sun, and paths. That sounds like good stuff. Thinking that I'll be enjoying the fact that something is finally moving forward. I have a specific thing in mind. Okay. Looks like some detail work is going on with that swords, but there's definitely, there's energy moving forward through all of that. Chris says, Donna, subdue the star, put those naked parts away. Maybe you need to make sure you close the curtains when you're getting dressed on Wednesday. Right, me and Donna have star action going on. Well, mine's Friday. Okay. The star in the Dreaming Way is fully clothed. Look at this. Okay, wait, we read Tom's already. Open those curtains, Life of Brian style. He has the opposite advice. The middle is great, but starts and ends on a stinker. Now, here is what we can do. Because we're drawing cards and we have a look at it, we can put some energy into what's going to happen to us, right? So you could say, how am I going to, how can I lighten this load? Or how can I shift this? How can I problem solve this, right? Maybe if you are not really crazy about your base and your layer, then maybe your third one on top, or if you've already done those because you guys are on top of things and I'm chatting and I don't have my third layer out yet, maybe you can draw another one and say, how can I how can I shift this? How can I appreciate the good and help shift the things I'm not liking so much? What can I do um, to avoid that? Yeah. Yes, whatever we want. So Debbie has for the beginning the Fool, Ten of Swords, and Birds. That's like a whole thing. That's like a whole cycle, Monday and Tuesday. Empress, Eight of Cups, in the Mountain for midweek. And then the end is the High Priestess and Seven of Cups. I love the High Priestess and a seven together. And the Mice. So in that way, if you're reading it like in the true Lenormand sense, the mice may be eating away at some of the like overwhelm and confusion of the Seven of Cups and actually helping you get back to the clarity of the High Priestess, right? So if it's like eating away at that Seven of Cups to get back to finding, that's what comes to mind when I see that. At end of Philosopher's Stone, Voldemort leaves Quirrell's body and flees. Yeah. Okay, no, that's it. Yes, because it's at the back, like in the movie, it like shows like the back of his head, and then okay, yes, that's it. That's it. So maybe people are just gonna go around and find out with Chris tomorrow, and his happy soul is just gonna be like, that's fine. I'm gonna go somewhere else while you all. Well, tomorrow's a home day. No. Why do I act like I don't know what's going on? Monday. Why don't I know this all of a sudden? Monday, Tuesday in the office, Wednesday, Thursday home. I don't need to be telling all your business. I mean, I know you said it online before, but all of a sudden my brain's not working. I don't know if you're going to be having drama with at at home, but no. I mean, truly, it could just be one of those weird days where you're in a funk and like feeling just sad, let down, like you need to protect yourself. It's just weird, isn't it? Sometimes that just happens and you're like, what is even wrong with today? I didn't even do anything. Oh, that's how I feel. Okay. My top arrow still does not like me. Robin says I've made 2 rows and my last pairing is Paths and Coffin. Does that mean like Tom, I should just skip my week and take to my bed Paths and Coffin? No, to me that sounds like, oh, this is what Donna's saying, I think. A certain option may be closed to you by the end of the week. Yes. So I feel like with Paths, it's a little bit like Debbie's mice to the Seven of Cups, I think. Though the mice are going to eat away at some of those and still leave her some options, it sounds like one of those paths is coming to an end, right? That you won't have that decision to make. Or like, oh, well, this is what I'm going to do because I'm going to go to this coffee shop because this one's got a line out the door for whatever random reason today. And so I'm just going to go here, like something like that. I don't think it's, again, especially if you're reading the coffin card, like in the true Lenormand sense, where it's not going to be, it's not some catastrophic thing. Okay, then we got Janie's. We did that. I mean, I didn't say much about it, but we talked about like the images a bit. Chris says, blushing over here. It's the Enchanted. Now, someone just did a thing on how to pronounce this. Is it Forhexa, actually? I mean, it's spelled correctly here, but is it pronounced like a really short A, Forhexa? And an Angel Oracle. I think it's funny. I got 2 5s at the end. Oh, see, I didn't even pay attention to your numbers. See what happens? The numerology and everything. Is the middle card growing? Oh, for Jane's. Yes, her top middle is card 17 and is growing. Adding the 3rd layer. I still need to do my 3rd layer, and I'm going to show you mine all together. Beginning, enjoy, Knight of Swords, and Emperor. Oh, right. Donna's doing double tarot like me. Okay, so then the Emperor is kind of bringing like a stopping point or a structure to that progress. It's like, okay, that was it. And now it's kind of done. And that's why I felt like since the rest of it went so quickly to a different energy. Middle, subdue, star, Five of Wands. Oh, see the Five of Wands there. So really kind of conserving your energy for what might come. There might be a bit of a kind of back and forth or needing to kind of elbow your way into some kind of situation. I do this at times, like even if I want to get up and get something to eat during the day, I will not do it if Vela is playing quietly and nicely and I am able to keep like blowing through work. If she's like watching Daniel Tiger and then like building blocks and she's in her own little world, then I don't eat right then. I just sit there and I keep typing and I keep checking pages because if I get up, then it's going to shift her away from that and then it will be chaos. So if the baby is happy, you just keep working. That's what that feels like to me. Okay. Chris says, it's like, what am I creating? What am I continuing to grow, work on? And what do I need to release? Oh, that's a good little like categories there that he's got. He's talking about Jane's reading. That is really cool. See how smart he is? And how many different ways you can look at this? You can look at the columns. You can look at the rows. Like, you know what I mean? You can separate your stack out into like a diagonal line. A lot of time that's what I do. I make it like little stair steps going down or up to the next set of cards or whatever. And it's like, okay, how do I get there? I think in my how I use Oracle, I showed, this is not what I'm doing today, but how sometimes I'll do like a little bridge card in between two cards, right? If I just do an open reading and I don't have spread positions, it's like, okay, what does this mean? Then I would use the Ace of Pentacles to kind of step me through to that next card. Now I'm getting these kind of mixy. But yeah, just all the different ways, all the different kind of lines you can read. Oh, Robin emailed me his photo. Look at this. Oh, this feels very like 1998 to me, and I love it, I must say. Oh, this is great. Tom emailed me. This is incredible. Oh, this is so fun. Okay, hold on. You guys are so cool. Wait, but I don't see Robin's. You can definitely email me. I see Tom's, but I don't see Robin's. Let me go to junk just in case it went there. There are so many folders. Like, what even is this? Mm-hmm. Okay, no, I don't see anything in there. Did you send it to deannebrooke@gmail.com? Let me refresh this and see. Okay, let's look at Tom's while we try to find Ryan's. I do that all the time. Robin's email. Where is the arrow? I don't know why. Why does it hate me? Boop. Thanks, you guys. How fun. Monday, Tuesday in the office, Wednesday, Thursday at home. Okay. And again, not that it necessarily is like the people that you work with or things going on there. It could just be, it feels like really internal to me because of like the person's position. I don't know. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Man, do I love Tarot, the Holy Spectrum. Okay. I'm trying to get it just so. All right. One of the coolest death cards ever. Can we see what's going on here? Maybe if I cover my face. Oh, there we go. The light just shifted. That's great. Can you see these? So we have Death and then Knight of Cups, which again, like Chris, in that middle spot. And then Ace Pence, which I also had Ace Pence coming up. And then the bottom is Jealousy, Gift, and Misfortune. Oh, the Misfortune is like a sea. Oh, yeah, like a fiery ship going down. Okay. And then like the playing card kind of thing. This is cool. Okay. So loss is at the very beginning. And then the knight or the page at the end. It's so cool. Okay, I'm going to show you again now that I've read them out. Oh, not by the windows. That's terrible. Yeah. I wish you could see the notes on that first card. They're so cool. Okay, let me keep going through here. Beginning for Tony is Nine of Wands and the Hermit. Kind of a similar vibe, though we don't usually think about that, do we? This is the other thing. You're like, oh, those cards are kind of the same. And they're not, because they're so multifaceted, but also they are because they're so multifaceted. Nine of Wands and the Hermit. Think about that. Think about the person's posture, and maybe the Hermit is like the more enlightened version of that, but it's still kind of this, it's not the easiest. SPL 83 is the wish indeed. And I actually know that one by heart because I was born in 1983. And so I'm like, oh, birthday wish. Like that's always what I think. How amazing. Feels like I'm going to be home due to how do you even say that? Allergy? But listen, it could be that you are going into hermit mode because you feel like you need to protect something, and like the only way to protect it is to kind of shut down a little bit. Yours feels like the fiery, earthy version of Donna's Star and Subdue. Donna says, I think the beginning of mine will go as expected. The middle might be a bit draining due to some petty squabbles. The end looks good though, moving away from that energy toward a more nurturing place. That is fair enough. Tony has Chariot and Five of Swords as that second part with Secret Pocket Oracle Shield. The challenges faced with wellness to return to work, perhaps. Oh, look at you. Yeah, Chariot and Five of Swords. Something I read recently was like the Chariot, in the Hashira Tarot, because the Chariot, the carousel horse has like the one leg broken off. And it's like, this is the time. Like you have to keep going, even though you have a broken equipment, right? So that's what that feels like people trying to keep you from going, like this conflict happening that is keeping you from making your best progress. But that came to mind about the Hashira Tarot. They're like, look, no, it's your go time. You are going, you're going to stomach through this and get to the other side, even though your horse is missing a leg. And then the end is High Priestess and Ten of Earth. That's a nice combination with Secret Pocket Oracle 31, the tree. Following my gut allowed for my health to heal. Right. So stay with your reading and don't, stomach through. That's why it's important to look at the end of the week, see what's up. But no, I really like that High Priestess with a Ton of Earth because it's like you're in a grounded place, even though you're getting into, you're staying with your intuition and all of that. It's like the best of both worlds. And then the tree is like extra roots for that. Tree being typically wellness, growth, sturdiness, being really into what you're doing. No sorries. That's what we say around here all the time. Take care this week, everyone, says Donna. Jane says, I think my cards are really fucking fantastic. 8 of Pence, Creator, Knight of Swords with 17 is growing, and then 5 of Pence releasing. Yes, that is amazing. I still don't see it, but it should just be like this. Or you can send it in Facebook Messenger if that's easier, if I'm not getting it here. But deannebrook@gmail.com all together. Simon's here. Hello. Thank you for hanging out with us. He has had an adventurous weekend. I was hitting the bars in 83. Oh, and Tony put hers in the group. Let's check it out. Sip, sip. Oh, pretty. Okay. Wait, do I know about this? Is this the guy that does like the haunted cat tarot? I read what you put, but it didn't click that this is what it is. I've been thinking about these. Oh, I think this is what I've been thinking about. I need a shirt that says that because you could probably catch me saying that 10 times a week. Okay, here's some real ADHD. I'm undiagnosed, by the way, but I'm just saying, have you ever been worried about something, been churning something over in your mind, kind of like we were talking about, some days you just feel like in a funk and you're like, oh man, that is just, I don't know, that is making me sick just thinking about that. And then you get distracted and you feel happy about something. And then you're like, what was I just worrying about? And then you try to remember what you were worrying about so you can feel bad again. Does anyone else do that? I might have asked this question before several months ago, but it's like one of these things. Like, why? Humans, hello, why are you trying to? Now our brain's trying to figure out, hey, there was a problem. We need to get back to that. And, but I just think it's kind of funny in like a Zen kind of way. Like, why would I be trying to figure out what was upsetting me 5 minutes ago? Okay, someone help me. Okay, I'm just going back. I'm doubling back and making sure. Oh, I was looking for the name of the decks, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh my gosh, Jonathan, I cannot make pancakes. I've made decent pancakes like one time and I was so excited. And then I tried to do it again and they were terrible. It's like water and the fucking mix and whatever, like one other thing sometimes. But I'm telling you, like the temperature of the pan, my mom is amazing at pancakes. She's like, oh, it just got too hot. I'm like, well, bitch, like, do I just have to constantly adjust this? Like, I can't make 20 pancakes in 1.5 minutes while the temperature is not changing at all. I do not understand. Pancakes make me pretty upset. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Okay. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome. Thank you for hanging out. So, Tony has the 9 of Wands or candles in this instance, the Hermit and Wish. Now look at the 9 and the Hermit, how they're facing away from each other. See, this is another cool thing because now I might feel a little bit different about that. This is almost like not leaving your back vulnerable. That's what that feels like to me. And then a wish. So it's like, this is kind of like, I don't know, like soul protection or something. I feel like you should do some sort of ritual tomorrow morning to like lock in your energy, like keeping it contained and not not like giving everything away. That's what that feels like to me. And then she has the Chariot and Five of Cloaks. Oh yeah, this totally looks like Thestrals and Death Eaters and the Shield, which is amazing. Okay, so see that center row, the Chariot, Five of Cloaks, and the Shield. And then she has HP and Ten of Bones and Tree there at the bottom. Cool, cool. Oh, here, Robin sent Messenger. Thank you for trying so many things to carry on with our 1998 share media with me. Oh, a little CS tarot. Love it. Oh, yeah, these are cool. Okay. I love seeing everyone's little combos. Aren't these lovely? Okay, so here's Robin's. We have, come on, light. Why do you hate me? Okay. I'm trying to like not show my face, but also show the color. And so we have 4 pence there, the 7, and then we have these, the cards in the middle that are the ones I was talking about before. It's called like Manuscript of Rider or something like that. And then 2 cards, Sun and Justice from Robin's Open Face Tarot, and then the Paths and the Coffin with a cute little Norman. Isn't this amazing? Okay, I love this a lot. And it sort of looks like Norman's like showing the horse where to go, you know? I love Norman's arms so much, always. So amazing. Oh, it's like how, it really is like how a little kid does it. Like, here you go, made you this. That's what they do. Ooh, the tree next to the 10 of coins, which often has the tree of life on it. Yeah, see? I love these. Micala, hello Liz, how are you doing? Thanks for hanging out with us. Which is next to the HP, who often holds the Taurus scroll. What fucking cool combo, Tony. See all the things that happen? Yes, it is. Same. Simon saying hi, just stepped away. So Simon, I sort of decided to do this layering thing, which is something I do a lot, but then I always say on lives, I'm like, oh, I should do that sometime. We never do it. But then I think you were saying, and maybe Chris's chat the other day, like, am I the only person who doesn't pair things? Oh, you know what? Maybe it was Sandra and Richie on Friday. That just came back to me. But again, I don't know. Anyway, part of it was I remembered you said that, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe we'll do that because I haven't done that in a while, and I needed one more week to kind of get things organized before I kick off the shadow walking thing. So anyway, it was not to say Simon doesn't do this, so let's do it. Just because it was on my mind. We sometimes find comfort in that familiar mindset, even if it isn't the best one to be in. So this is going back to me talking about, I'm catching up now that it's like, what was I just worried about? It is so ridiculous. Like, no, get out of there, self. Ugh. Okay, thank you, Robin, for trying that. It's awesome. I love to have these. Okay, you do that. And isn't it, it just seems so ridiculous. But it is a little like, Kayla says, if I can't remember what I was worried about, then I worry about that. And now here's the thing. These days, I'm not the worrier that I used to be, which I'm grateful for. But I mean, sometimes I'm worried. You know what I'm saying? So it feels a little more like a little more anxiety maybe, because it doesn't happen as often. I'm like, oh God damn, what was I just so stressed out about? Why? But it is because your brain's trying to protect you. You know, it's like, wait, no, you have to remember because something bad's about to happen. I make them from scratch. I don't know what this is. Shadow Tarot, not the cat one, but it is that guy, right? I finally followed his Facebook page. I want that deck. I really love it. Shadow Tarot. Yeah. Get an electric griddle. Oh, I don't have room for not a single other thing. Okay. Oh, the pancakes. Chris says, I'm going to show you how I make them sometime. Pancakes are one thing I can make. This is how I feel. I should be able to do this. No, it just is not. And the time I did them, I was so excited. And Max was standing up on a chair with me because he always made them with my mom. And then he's like, okay, let's make pancakes. I'm like, yes, we can do it. And he's like, okay, when the bubbles pop, then flip it. When they start to pop, then you got to flip it. And I was like, okay. And we did it and it worked and everything was fine. But then after that, one time, just awful. Just awful. Okay, Jonathan says, I also make them from scratch. For some reason, my batter didn't turn out right. I'm thinking I put too much cream and tartar in it. Okay, see, it's just like one little thing. I feel like that's the truth. If one little thing goes off with a pancake, it's just done. Ridiculous. Like other things you can fix, you know what I mean? When you're like cooking, baking is like next level witchcraft, okay? Even if it's a pancake, I consider that baking because batter, things like this. If you are cooking and you're like, oh, it's too spicy now, and then you like throw some sour cream in it, like it's not like that with any kinds of pancakes, cakes, cookies, brownies. You can't fix it. You're done. Hello, Kristen. Thanks for hanging out with us. I might have already said that. Oh, see, here we go. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. Heat up a heavy griddle or frying pan. Then cut the heat so the pan still retains a lot of heat, but the flame isn't so high that it burns them before they cook. I cannot work inside of these gray parameters. Okay. I faxed you my cards. Okay. We were talking about this at work the other day. I sent a GIF in my Teams chat at work of a fax machine printing out a piece of paper that said fax. I have a mini keyboard, sorry. Because we were talking about our new timekeeping system got rolled out, and of course, it the system was all bogged down and it was terrible, like nothing was working. Oh my gosh. And so we were all talking about, we should just, we could do like a paper copy of our time and send it downtown to make sure they have it. We're doing all these jokes, right? And I was like, I'm just going to fax mine. Oh, amazing. Okay. I can't deal with all those directions for pancakes. It has been feeling like something is almost poisoning my system and inflaming my neck, spinal column spreading out to the back and shoulders, almost like a claw is embedded somewhere. Tony, what in the hell, girl? We gotta do something. Oh, okay. Chris gave some great insight. Lovely. Oh, about the locations of everything. Okay. This is laughing at me. I am literally a hungry jack, just add water kind of person. Okay. This is what, we just have a mix. You just put, I think the one I have is water and an egg or something. Okay. It's not difficult. That part I got. It's the whole, what Liz is talking about. She knows that my pan situation is just not the best. And the one time they were perfect. And I'm like, why don't they look like that anymore? I hate this. On that note, let's draw my little top layer. Okay. My concept of time is weird today because it's very cloudy and rainy out. And so I'm like, wow, it feels like bedtime. But really, it's only 3:35 here. But I will draw my little cards and show you what I got. And thank you, everyone, for sending your cards. It's so cool. Okay. I think about that bell card all the time. There's a new trainee in my work who didn't know what a fax was. Makes me feel old. Chris, I've got 5 years on you, but you know, I was going to say you're catching up every day, but really we're all catching up every day. And I'm a little bit happy to know that there's like finally something someone younger than you did not know about. Tom said, I had to explain the whole concept of pagers to some of the younger folks at work once. They just couldn't understand it. Oh, it's too much, isn't it? Do you guys ever watch like I don't know what the channel's actually called, but it's like Kids Try whatever. Um it was maybe like a decade ago that these came out. I don't know. Talk about old, where they're like, kids try out a Walkman, okay? And they put the technology in front of the kid and they cut to like 5 different kids. And they're like, "Do you know what this is?" And they're like looking at it, like something that, it kind of looks like a big iPod. Like, does it play music? And then it cuts to another kid and they're like, "Oh, my mom has one of these in our basement. It plays tapes, like," and then like everyone goes along. The kid's face when they explained that you had to fast forward or rewind and then just push play and hope you got to the song you wanted. This kid's mind like exploded because he just could not imagine the torture of not being able to just like pick the song you want. It's like, no, you have to, like, in your mind, it's like drawing tarot cards. Where is the right one, right? Stop and play. Like, you had to divine your songs out of the Walkman because there's no chapter or starting point for these things. I think that's my favorite part ever when the kid realizes that you just have to rewind, fast forward, whatever, and figure out what you're doing. Okay, anyway. I shocked a friend's child when I mentioned that TV used to be free and there were only 5 channels. Yes, all these things. Terrible. Oh, look, Robin is doing microwave pancakes. I get the little pancake bites every once in a while for the kids. And at midnight, they played the national anthem and no more TV. That is right. You will go to bed with America in your heart and you will have sweet dreams. Literally just bought a new cassette Walkman a few months ago. When I bought my first house, I bought one of the clear phones that has all the, the workings inside, like all colorful, and it like rings neon, like lights up neon when you get a call. Clearly had to have one of those. Oh yeah, the Blue Angels flying over, right? Talking back to Jane about health stuff. Okay, so here's my cards finally before I let you go. So I have Queen Pence, Ace Pence, and the Bell. And I think about this card all the time. It's just so cute and it pops into my head a lot, like especially over the last couple months. And I haven't been using my Mildred deck probably in about that amount of time. The bell can signify the beginning or ending of an event. It can be like a notification or a warning, right? Most of the cards in Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle are written as neutrals. Like as a tarot card, you could read it like this, quote unquote, or like this, right? So it's like tarot, I don't read reversals and I will just read this holistically. So it could be marking a beginning, marking an end, right? Some kind of event. Could be notification or warning. So just something to pay attention to, right? Pay attention to this new beginning. Now, because Mildred's on this, I think about the pentagram in the Mildred Payne deck stands for humanity and the sum of your life's choices. There's also a coin, which I actually drew here, but the pentagram, again, in SPO is about the sum of life's choices. And these are things I think about a lot in my whole ideas about pre-birth planning and like all this thing, and how we are totally free to do whatever we want. But even so, we will meet those milestones that like we had set out for ourselves. Again, just my belief. This is just how I work with these and all these connections that happen. And then here we have, of course, more pentacles. So this feels like really drawing on my resources, and even talking about like what I had mentioned when I first came down, with that we're kind of like redoing like Max's like consequences system, right? He's been through almost a school year of kindergarten. He has like 3 weeks left of school. No, actually, he's got a full 4 weeks, I really need to ground in and figure out what the best things are for my entire family. How can we really kind of fine tune things? New beginnings, there's a lot of positive potential here, and, paying attention, really keeping kind of a tight rein on things so that I can keep, just kind of keep control of things. Then in the middle, I have Page Cups and the Star and the Coin. This really, to me, I mean, I have to separate the symbols in my head sometimes, but I feel like I don't have to here. This really just feels and looks like Max and Bela to me, the boy and his fish. And, this tender heart, like I have to remember that. I tell Max all the time, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to step this back a little bit because my expectations of you are so high. I'm getting too stuck in it. You are 6 years old. You are learning. Like I tell him this. I'm like, okay, nope, that was too much. I'm sorry. You were right. Let's go ahead and do this instead. That wasn't really fair. I jumped to this conclusion. I didn't finish listening to you, whatever that kind of thing is. And I do. I just tell them that. I'm like, we know that you are capable of such amazing things. That doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. We're going to step this back a little bit. That's what that feels like to me. This is a lot of positive hope. It feels like to support that. Just keeping my sights set high. And then a coin feels kind of earthy to me because I think of pentacles and basically like making a wish in the well, right? Like I'm going to toss this coin in and everything's going to work out for the highest good and for the good here right now in the physical, that that these changes we're making are going to come to fruition. And then last but not least, end of my week, the Two of Cups with the Nine of Cups and the House. So the House in SPO is, again, about many things, good and bad. But this one's mostly positive, I would say, like the other two that I drew here, that, there's structure, safety, literally like a home base. Like this is the place where we can all feel comforted, protected, all of that kind of thing. And with the Two of Cups, the 2 and the 9 are kind of making me feel like I might get a babysitter for the end of the week and make it to a show that I want to go to, though that's on Saturday. And we said we were going to lock this to Monday to Friday. A past, not really student of mine, but someone, I had maybe taught her a couple times, but she was pretty close to already being in my level when I was dancing in the pro company. She's incredible, and she is putting on her first like pro show this weekend. She's done like choreography bits before. Oh, someone's wailing up there. But this will be her first like full production kind of thing. And she really wants me there, and I'm trying to make it happen. So this felt like I'm getting to choose and I'm getting to do that. And it would be a date night for me and Ryan. And we are asking, my typical sitters are not available because they're all trying to go to the same party. My 3 brothers are all trying to go to the same friend's party, so they can't help out and watch my kids. And my best friend Julie has family in from out of town. So this either means I'm going to be sitting at home on, but again, this is Friday, so I'm not even going to tie that in there. Monday to Friday. This feels like good positive planning for my weekend. And even if that doesn't work out, a lot of emotional fulfillment and contentment. Okay, how do we think that went? That's a sweet message to give Max. Yeah, we try to really, I mean, we're transparent. We're like, oh, no, that was kind of too much. Let's kind of regroup and think about what we really want to do. Replace the flour with coconut flour. Very filling. Look at that. Yeah, someone else who doesn't do reversals. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, Chris. I know you would too. I know you would. I did ask another friend of mine today, and she's going to see if she can get out of work a couple hours early to help out. Yeah, I don't always, usually I'm just like, oh, I really can't make it. I'm sorry. But I'm like really trying for this one because my Lena girl is she's so incredible. And she sent me this really nice individual, text invite, but she's like, I would really love it if you could be there when we were dancing together, XYZ. And I so appreciate all this, which is sweet of her to say, because let me tell you, she fucking blew me out of the water. Okay. And she's like so genuine. And she's like, I learned so much from you. What? She's prime. Okay. Anyway, I'm so excited and I'm excited for her and I hope I can be there. All right. So thank you all so much. If you want me to post your pictures in the group, let me know. If it was fine to just show them here and you don't want them in the group, that's fine too. You can go to the group and post. You can fax me. Anyway, that's that. This was so much fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 9 of Cups and house could indicate a house party. This is true. This is true. Yes, Tarot Commune. We've talked about this before. Like, yeah, it would be just so great. People are like, oh, a date night. I'm like, how is that? I have not even been. Okay, I'm telling you that my Lily Black is like all mismatched, like up and down, and I did not do this. I feel like this happened last time. Or maybe I just didn't fix it. Okay, anyway. I gotta go help keep the peace upstairs. Oh, God. Okay. I love you all so much. Thanks for being here. I might be back next week or the week after that. Whenever it is, we will start shadow walking. If you don't want to hang out for that, I understand because it might be a little dark, though I'm trying not to get too gritty into it. I'm just going to tell the events and we will talk about how we might help someone through or how someone might help themselves through what is actually shadow working, right? That's the short story. You all are the best, and I will see you really soon.